Hi, this is Sarah from the College School, and I've got a really special project to share with you today. It's a spring loom weaving that you can make with natural materials you can find around your house, around your yard, and around your neighborhood. It's a very super simple and easy project, and by the end of this video, you will have one that you can hang in your home, outside in your garden, and that you can share with your family. So let's get started. Some of the materials you will need for today are 4 sticks. These are approximately all the same length. Yours don't have to be, so you will need 4 of those. You will also need to go and collect as many natural materials as possible. A lot of stems, a lot of leaves, flowers, so many different things are in bloom right now. And then you'll need some string or some yarn in this case.
All right, so to start, we're going to use 4 sticks. You're going to lay them out in a square. The first 2 go down, parallel each other, and then the next 2. So this is going to be the frame of our loom. And then you'll need 4 small pieces of string or floss, yarn, or thread. So I have found it most easiest to take 2 at a time and to make the first little knot with it in an L shape. I make the beginning of my knot like this, and then I start wrapping it around and through, and when I just have a little bit left, I will knot it. So now I have a 90-degree angle there. I'm going to make one right here too. So again, I've knotted it, and now I'm going to wrap it around just to make it a little bit tighter. That's perfect. Give it a finishing knot. Now, if you have a lot of excess string, one of the things you can do if you feel like it is snip it off. But again, one of the best things about this craft is that it doesn't have to be perfect. And I kind of like that things are more organic and have different shapes and don't have a perfect polished feel to them. So don't feel any pressure to make things look a certain way. The next thing I'm going to do is attach these 2 90-degree angles together with 2 more knots. I'm going to trim a bit. And here we have the weaving structure. So the next part's the most tricky part, and that is threading the loom with the yarn. So you'll want a piece about an arm's length or so, about 3 feet. You'll cut it off, and there are a lot of different ways you can tie this, so don't get too worried about the way in which you're creating the loom threads. I always begin by tying it off at the bottom corner, and that's going to be my beginning. From there, I'm going to loop it up. Then I always like to tuck it through. And then bring it back down. And so you'll just keep doing that back and forth, up and through, and then back and down. One of the reasons I like to do it this way is because the lines start to form triangles, and I think it looks really nice that way. All right, and this is our last one. I'm going to bring it up. There is no limit to how many or how few lines that you have on your loom, which is nice as well. If you want to make it as simple and just have 4 or 5, it's absolutely fine. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can always add more. You'll just need a longer piece of thread. So now we have our initial structure all set in place, and here comes the fun part. You will take all of the items that you've collected and you'll start picking the ones that look extra special to use. These big green fronds, and you can start weaving with them. So remember that when we weave, there's always a pattern to it. With the lines, we go over and then under, over and then under. And the same is true no matter if you're weaving with yarn or thread or natural materials. Most of these will be woven through just once. However, these big guys that are super long, you can weave them through twice by bending right in the middle and then going ahead and doing that pattern again. Right there. And then pull him all the way through, not too tight. And he is going to be our base for this. Now I think I want to add a flower. Here we go. Have some scissors handy so that you can cut to the length you would like. And you can just weave that in as well, right down at the bottom. I think it's really nice to have heavy things at the bottom just to give it some stability. And then you can start weaving things that are a little more delicate. So next I'm going to take this sweet little fern-like leaf, and I'm going to weave it through over and under, over and under, over and under. That one's really nice because it gives it some texture. I think let's do one more leaf right now. Some of these will be a little bit shorter, and that's okay. If you only weave them through 3 or 4 of the loops, that's absolutely fine. So there's my sorrel leaf. And then I think I want to top this one off with some of this viburnum. There we go. You can leave these smaller branches on if you would like these smaller sticks, or you can trim them off. It's really up to you and what look you're going for. So the way I'm looking at this, I think I'm going to trim these 2 off. There we go. And that gives me a really nice kind of easy base to work through. And I'm just going to add that one over here as well. Excellent. All right, I think I'm going to add one more flower and then we will be done. And what I would really like to use are these little violets that are popping up everywhere. With flowers, the one thing that's good to remember is to make sure that you are snipping long stems so that they can rest really easily right there in the loom. All right, and here is our finished project. You can hang these anywhere in your house, and one of my favorite things about this is that in a week or 2, when these begin to wilt and look a little bit ragged, you can go back into your garden and back into your neighborhood and pick new leaves and new flowers to replace these and start all over again, which is super cool. So if you create one of these, we would love to see it, so please share an image with us in the comments, and I hope to see you soon.